feel good, and I'm going to go out there and perform and do what I do best.
Floyd, you really want to take them both on at the same night?
Absolutely, easy. You got 2 fake fights, let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Get the paperwork for this bum.
Get Al Heyman.
Absolutely, I don't need Al Heyman.
Let me call Al Heyman.
I'm my own boss. I'm my own boss.
One night, got you happy.
If you've been paying attention to the brothers Paul as of late, and you're a great person if you haven't, then you'll know that Logan Paul is set to go and fight former undefeated boxer Floyd Money Mayweather in an exhibition bout next month. Floyd is 44 and Logan is said to be taking this fight seriously, but many wonder just how real this fight would be. But we now have a clear indication of just how real it's going to be, as a scrap happened in a press event for the fight between Floyd and Jake Paul. We'll break it all down for you. Jake Paul versus Floyd Mayweather boxing match confirmed. Jake Paul is going to be boxing the legend himself, Floyd Money Mayweather. This news comes after Logan Paul is set to box Floyd on June 6th. So what made Jake Paul and Floyd to box each other as well? Well, it seems that Jake Paul has proven to the boxer Floyd Mayweather that he is able to sell a boxing match. His match against Ben Askren has ranked top 10 for the most pay-per-view sales. This is extremely impressive for someone just starting out in the sport. Floyd noticed this and realized it would be smart of him to go against both the Paul brothers, Logan and Jake. We all know that Floyd loves making money, as he always has tons of money on him wherever he goes and calls himself Floyd Money Mayweather. So I mean, if Jake and Logan can make him even more money without him having to go through an entire training camp, he's going to do it. Let's face it, Logan Paul and Jake Paul might have a big advantage with weight and height. But if either of them are able to take down the undefeated boxer Floyd Mayweather, it would be a miracle. Therefore, it seems like a super easy way for Floyd to just go out there and have fun while making millions of dollars doing it. After a press conference for Mayweather's boxing match against Logan Paul on June 6th, Jake Paul pulled a hat off Floyd Mayweather's head. The big South Florida boxing match between Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul is still a month away, but the two got physical at a media event for the clash at Hard Rock Stadium on Thursday. When Paul's brother, Jake, ripped Mayweather's hat off his head at the stadium in Miami Gardens, tempers flared. It's clear that Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather are both unhappy with Jake Paul after Jake Paul stole Floyd Mayweather's hat at the face-to-face press conference. Florida, where Hall of Famer Floyd Mayweather and YouTube sensation Logan Paul came face-to-face for the first time to host the kickoff press conference for their upcoming June 6th super exhibition. Logan Paul has decided what he really wants to do in life is get punched in the face. Hey, different strokes for different folks. On April 27th, Paul and Floyd Mayweather Jr. announced their long-discussed boxing match finally has a new date and place. June 6th at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. It's finally official, Paul tweeted, fighting Floyd Mayweather at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami on Sunday, June 6th. This is not your normal boxing match, of course. Here's the rundown on who's who, what to expect, and how to watch. Despite the fact Floyd Mayweather is fighting his brother Logan Paul, Jake Paul got into quite the situation with Mayweather by stealing his baseball cap after a press conference for the Logan Paul vs. Floyd Mayweather fight. The above Twitter thread shows most of the best footage. Jake Paul and Mayweather had a confrontation. They talked back and forth about a fight between them. Jake Paul snatched up Mayweather's hat, and then all hell broke loose. Regardless of whether it was a publicity stunt or not, this has stirred up quite an amount of attention on social media. The 26-year-old Ohio native and his brother, Jake, first became famous for their Vine and YouTube videos. Paul then moved to LA and dabbled in all sorts of forms of entertainment, from acting to running a clothing line. He's not without controversy. In 2018, he was heavily criticized for filming a dead body in a Japanese forest known as a location for suicide, and YouTube has yanked ads from his channel for questionable content in the past, but his fans don't seem to care. His YouTube channel has more than 22 million subscribers. As for sports, Paul was a high school athlete, participating in wrestling and football, but his boxing record isn't exactly long. In 2018, he fought British YouTuber KSI, real name Olajide William Olatunji, to a majority draw in what was considered an amateur match. In 2019, the two held a rematch that was considered a professional bout, ending in a split decision victory for KSI. So with 0 victories to his credit, he's decided to take on a famous undefeated boxer, as you do. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is quite a bit older than Paul, at 44, and he's much more experienced in the ring. He won 15 major world titles in 5 weight classes with a 50-0 record in the sport, a bronze medal in the 1996 Olympics, and 3 US Golden Gloves championships, among other titles. Note that he won the Olympic medal when Logan Paul was just a year old. So why, then, is the undefeated former champ taking on a YouTuber who's never won a fight? It's not about the boxing. The fight won't count anywhere. It's an exhibition. Think those two irresistible elements: money and fame. It's likely that only the promise of another lucrative payday could convince Money Mayweather to put on his gloves again, and Paul provides an opponent with major name recognition despite a paucity of boxing experience, the Washington Post reported. The newspaper noted that for Paul, it's not about who wins, but about the exposure, which makes him even more famous and opens up more opportunities and future paydays. Few details are known about the boxing specifics of the fight, such as rules, size of gloves, how many rounds it will go, or even the undercard. We'll update this story as more details are known. If you've heard about another Paul involved in a headline making boxing match lately, that's Logan's brother, Jake. He now has a 3-0 record in the sport after defeating ex-MMA fighter Ben Askren in under 1 round. The fight is scheduled for June 6th at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. Mayweather's own promotional company, premium cable channel Showtime, and the fan experience website Fanmio are all involved. Those who want to see the fight will need to get pay-per-view access. A ticket to watch the fight comes with a t-shirt and costs $49.99. But some who've already bought access to the fight may have landed a lower price. It was rescheduled from February and was originally priced at $24.99. Fanmio's site says that 20 US residents who sign up for Fanmio will also get a video meet and greet with the fighters, and the giveaway rules say those winners do not have to buy the fight to enter the drawing. The Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather boxing match finally has a date after being postponed earlier this year. The match between Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather is officially going ahead. After his brother Jake Paul defeated MMA fighter Ben Askren in 1 round, Logan Paul has announced his long-discussed boxing match with the undefeated Floyd Mayweather Jr. is finally going ahead. The match had previously been scheduled for February this year, but was delayed indefinitely. Mayweather Jr., aged 44, has a 50-0 boxing record and is largely regarded as the best defensive boxer of all time. He's won 15 major boxing world titles, plus a bronze medal in the 1996 Olympics and 3 US Gold Gloves championships. Paul, 26, fought 2 amateur matches against British internet personality KSI with 1 draw and 1 loss by split decision. Expect a huge size and weight discrepancy between the two. This is going to be weird.